Coming up on Citrus TV News, an update on Jim Boeheim following a fatal accident Wednesday night. Will he coach the Duke game tomorrow?
And R. Kelly is charged with 10 charges of sexual abuse after a string of women come out against him. How is Kelly responding to the charges?
And Hollywood's biggest award show is right around the corner, this time with no host. The movie's actors and directors predicted to win big. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Jim Boeheim will coach the Syracuse men's basketball game against Duke on Saturday in the wake of hitting and killing a man on I-690 Wednesday night. Good evening. I'm Jack Watson.
And I'm Gabrielle Caracciolo. This is according to SU Athletic Director John Wildhack. In a statement released earlier this afternoon, Wildhack stated, "After thoughtful consideration, I have respectfully decided that Coach Boeheim will resume his coaching duties later today and will coach in tomorrow night's game against Duke. We continue to extend our deepest sympathies to the Jimenez family as they continue to mourn this tragic loss."
Tip-off is at this weekend's game is at 6 p.m. Outside the Carrier Dome, Syracuse fans are camping out as we're 24 hours from the opening tip. Citrus TV reporter Chris Venzon is with us for more.
Jack, dedicated fandom is a taxing lifestyle. Today I caught up with one SU student who's trying to push that to the limit. For Josh Horowitz, camping on concrete has its drawbacks.
Relative warmth, relative healthiness, relative comforts, relative ability to sleep. Everything is relative.
Josh's tent is one of a dozen lined up outside the Carrier Dome. He's waiting for a moment, one he'll share with his children years from now.
I'll tell him it was cold. I'll tell him it was worth it. And I'll tell him I got to watch Duke lose 2 times in the same season.
Syracuse beat Duke, arguably the best college basketball team in the country, once already this year. On Saturday, it's Josh's last chance to see Duke in the Carrier Dome before he graduates. To save their spot in line, this group needs to have one person in a tent at all times.
And then this is the one we have this year, number 11.
In the meantime, they battled boredom.
Yes!
Hunger.
Chips Ahoy Chewy, that's a good move.
And the elements.
Definitely is going to decrease morale considerably if we look at the temperature. But it's 100% worth it.
Seems a little crazy, but Josh is chasing a feeling he hasn't had since the last time a Duke visited the Carrier Dome.
Watching John Gillen III hit a buzzer beater. We stormed the court, and oh my God, it was amazing. It was an incredible experience, and it made me a Syracuse fan for life.
So they wait, maybe for a little magic. Some special stuff has happened in Syracuse. The last time Duke and the Orange have squared off. Tip-off this Saturday is at 7 p.m. You guys won't want to miss it.
Thanks so much, Chris. And staying on the Hill, new members on a new council. The Office of Multicultural Advancement at Syracuse University announced the 25 members who will sit on the new Alumni Advisory Council. Some of the members include former mayor of Detroit, a senior vice president at Turner Broadcasting, and a retired NBA player. All are SU alumni. The office says the purpose of the council is to help foster diverse alumni involvement with current students. And this Sunday, Hendricks Chapel will hold an evening gathering to celebrate Black History Month. SU says the event includes a dinner and choir performances. The gathering will take place during Hendricks Dean Brian Conkle's Sunday convocation. The dinner begins at 5:30 p.m. and is open to the public.
And staying at SU now, a Citrus TV reporter Landon Wexler has the story of 2 SU entrepreneurs running a kitchen out of their apartment.
It was their story and love for Caribbean food that has gotten hundreds of people's attention around the Syracuse area. Ross Judah Carter and Andrea Hiraman found themselves stumbling into the restaurant business after cooking in their South Campus apartment and posting their delicacies on Instagram.
After 2 years of operation, their business called For the Culture had their first shot at publicity.
Just from the Daily Orange, coming in and, publishing the article, we gained over, 200 followers on Instagram within a 3-day span.
The publicity was just what they needed until the University Office of Residence Life found out and shut them down.
I don't really think that we were doing anything bad, We were actually bringing meals that people can't access to in the Syracuse area to the campus,
And though the operation to make food in here was shut down, Judah and Andrea are making sure they're not going back to this. No, they're making sure they can find a way to make food like this somewhere else.
After speaking with Tarto and Harriman, they said that the shutdown is only a speed bump, and if it means moving to an off-campus apartment instead of living on South Campus, For the Culture is just getting started.
You know, we're trying to work out every option, every possibility that we can, because we really feel like we have something, you know, like this can really turn into something, you know, big.
There are just a few logistics they need to work out before jumping back into it.
So if that means us, you know, taking some time off to really work on, you know, the logistics of running this, then that's what that will do. You know?
All right, our Landon Wexler reporting the SU Students For the Culture Instagram account now has over 400 followers. And the weather the past couple of days, freezing cold. I could still see my breath outside, but I think we have some mild weather inbound this weekend.
I certainly hope so. It's a good thing our Citrus TV weather anchor Carmella Boykin is in studio to let us know what we can expect. Carmella?
Thanks, Gabrielle. As we take a look at the Syracuse airport cam from earlier today, we can see things were pretty overcast. We even had a few flurries here and there, not enough to stick on the ground, but just enough to keep it nice and cool. Temperatures right now are resting at 30 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies, but we're also at calm winds. That means that 30 degrees actually feels like 30 degrees, which is a nice change. As we move into tonight, conditions are going to continue. We'll hit a low of 16 degrees, partly cloudy skies, so a few of those clouds are going to start to dissipate away, giving us, like I said, partly cloudy skies, and calm winds are going to continue as well, making that 16 degrees feel like 16. Moving into tomorrow, we're going to hit 25 degrees around 9 a.m., where it's going to be cloudy. Around 2 p.m., we'll hit 44 degrees as the high, a bit warmer, and go Qs, perfect for the game. And then by 6 p.m. we'll be at 38 degrees. We're going to have some clouds early, then some afternoon sun, and then we're even going to see evening rain where things are going to start to ramp up, and I'll tell you more about that in my full forecast after the break. Back to you guys.
44 degrees. Love to see it, Carmella. Thank you very much. New details from Syracuse tonight as the final I-81 town hall wrapped up at Fowler High School last night. Citrus TV political analyst Michael Furnari is here with how it all went. Michael?
For months, the Syracuse area has been debating proposals on what should be done to replace or revamp I-81. Now it appears that momentum is building towards the community grid solution. Mayor Ben Walsh supports the plan, but Representative John Katko says he's waiting for more information before deciding. The community grid is the cheapest of the three options on the table, something that may make it the favorite going forward. Yesterday, Representative Katko explained how much state funding the proposal will receive.
The money is there if the state wants to prioritize the project. The matching funds are 20% or so, 80% comes from the feds.
Katko has not provided an exact timetable for when his decision will be made. In the meantime, for all the community discussion on the issue, I-81's eventual path will likely have more to do with Andrew Cuomo than anyone in Syracuse. That at some point in the coming months, Cuomo is expected to make an announcement on the state's plans for I-81. The community of Syracuse has been meeting for months with no real conclusions, but from here on out, it's on Syracuse's representatives to make their cases to Governor Cuomo. Whatever happens, we'll have the coverage here on Citrus TV. Gabrielle and Jack, back to you.
All right, Michael Furnari, thank you very much. Citrus TV will keep you updated on the latest decisions from CNY officials on I-81 changes.
And the farm show at the New York State Fairgrounds is closed for the day, but from 8:30 to 4 p.m. tomorrow, you can see the newest in farm technology. The show says it has over 400 farm exhibitors, and tomorrow will be the show's last day. And an Uber driver in New York City is unharmed after a piece of wood fell from a subway platform and came right through his windshield. The driver was finishing his shift when the piece of wood fell, and he was not hurt. The MTA sent crews out to remove the rest of the wood from underneath the platform.
And over 10,000 refugees have resettled in Onondaga County over the past 10 years. Citrus TV reporter Sabrina Maggiore tells us how one refugee is using his experience to help others.
He's a board member of our organization. We brought them back so that they can give back to the community. Yeah.
Community. It's a word that means a lot to Haji Adan. He's the executive director of RISE, an organization that's made a name for itself in refugee communities throughout Onondaga County.
When I moved here, I came to the family of my husband, and they said the first place you need to go to is RISE.
The organization offers education initiatives, an after-school program, and a safe space for case management.
Here they help us with everything.
It's a reputation Haji doesn't take for granted. As a former refugee, he knows what it means to completely start over.
So we left our beautiful village of Jabi. I still remember, when I was young, boy in that big field, actually going to the farm with no stress and everything else.
When civil war broke out in Somalia in 1991, Haji had to leave his home behind.
And that's when everything changed from west, deteriorated from west to worse.
The violence back home forced him to flee. He spent nearly 15 years at a refugee camp in Kenya before he came to the States. Even though Haji did speak some English, like many refugees, he at first struggled to adapt to the new environment.
Those kind of things was an actual culture shock, and that was the difference between me and the people that came here without language.
And you realized that?
Yes, I did realize that, and that's one of the reasons why we founded this organization.
After spending some time living and working in Connecticut, he came to Syracuse, and Haji and some other Somali Bantu refugees knew they wanted to give back.
The organization started in the home of one of its founding members. It outgrew that space, and now it's located here in this facility on Birch Street.
Every day, Haji goes to work and hopes to make someone's day a bit better.
The more you are connected to the clients that you're serving, the better it is.
It's that connection that keeps community members coming back.
Actually meeting them, shaking their hands, helping them with their paperwork. That's the difference.
Sabrina Maggiore, CitrusTV News.
And coming up, Jussie Smollett facing backlash from the Fox network after his arrest. The action Empire creators are taking towards Smollett.
And a U.S.-born ISIS bride is suing President Trump. What she's suing the president for after the break.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the CitrusTV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News, and we have breaking news from social media giant Twitter. Co-founder and CEO Eb Williams is stepping down.
Williams said in a statement that it's been an incredible 13 years, and he's proud of what Twitter has accomplished.
And the writers of the Fox TV show Empire say actor Jussie Smollett will be cut from the show's final 2 episodes.
This comes after Smollett's arrest yesterday and his release on bond of $100,000.
Smollett is accused by Chicago police of staging a racially motivated assault and forging a threatening letter.
And former Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort is facing charges in New York.
A Bloomberg report says the Manhattan District Attorney is getting ready to file charges against Manafort if the 69-year-old is pardoned by President Trump.
Reports say that even if the president were to pardon Manafort, he would still face charges. And an American woman associated with ISIS is suing the Trump administration in hopes of moving back to the States. This comes after President Trump told his Secretary of State to refuse her entry on Wednesday.
Hoda Mathana left the U.S. to join the Islamic State in Syria 5 years ago. She was married to a member of ISIS and has an 18-month-old son. Following the death of her husband, Mathana and her son are currently living at a refugee camp.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said that Mathana is not a U.S. citizen and will not be admitted to the country.
And following its withdrawal of military forces in Syria, the U.S. will keep a small number of troops in the region.
200 soldiers will stay in Syria as peacekeepers. This comes as President Donald Trump is removing 2,000 troops from Syria.
The rebel U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces are preparing a final assault on a largely depleted Islamic State.
And Venezuela is closing its border with Brazil, making it even more difficult for aid to be brought into the country.
And President Maduro says foreign aid is only a pretense for the United States to smuggle arms into the country. He insists Venezuela is not in crisis.
Meanwhile, U.S.-supported acting President Juan Guaido prepares to collect food and medicine from Brazil and Colombia on Saturday in direct opposition to Maduro.
And coming up, singer R. Kelly is indicted on 10 counts of criminal charges after several women come forward against him.
And Southern California saw snowfall earlier today. Citrus TV weather anchor Carmella Boykin has more after the break.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Wait, why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where do cats go on vacation? New York.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Temps across the state are pretty consistent today. We're at 30 degrees here in Syracuse. Warmest is down south in Binghamton and Elmira, as well as Rochester, where they're at 33. And coolest is north and at 29 degrees. And we're resting right around the average for February right now. Not too warm, not too cool. Our high today was 35 and our low will be 16. As you can see, we're right in the ballpark for the February averages. Now tonight, we're going to hit a low of 16 degrees, partly cloudy skies as well as calm winds. So you might be able to see the moon if you're headed out. But the weekend is where things really start to pick up. As we take a look at Saturday, if you keep on, there we go. Saturday, we're going to hit a high of 44 degrees, some clouds, and then in the afternoon, we'll see some sun. Overnight, though, rain is going to start, and that's where things start to get full of action. On Sunday, we're going to have if we go on back, we're going to see on Sunday, we're going to have some rain in the morning with a high of 52. That'll mix into snow around the afternoon, and snow will continue into the evening, and wind will start to pick up. That'll put us into a high wind watch. That means it's going to last from Sunday until Monday. We're going to have strong winds, even stronger wind gusts, potential damage, and even outages. And that's all for now. Back to you guys. Oops, excuse me. And even though we're used to snow in Syracuse, the same can't be said for LA and Las Vegas. Today, snowfall in the desert made driving too dangerous on I-15, closing travel in both directions. The Nevada Highway Patrol is warning drivers between the two states to expect major delays. Las Vegas flights have been both delayed and canceled, and the California Highway Patrol says there is no time frame when I-15 will reopen.
All right, Carmella, thank you. If we could stay in sunny Los Angeles here, the Oscars are this Sunday, and the show will go on without a host. Since news broke that Kevin Hart wouldn't host the Oscars, the award show has not found another host. Now, some of the high-profile names, just to keep it in the awards, up for awards are Black Panther for Best Picture, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, and Mahershala Ali in Green Book for Supporting Actor. The 91st Oscars award show will take place at the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles.
And authorities are issuing an arrest warrant for R&B artist R. Kelly. Chicago police are charging him with 10 counts of sexual abuse, all felonies. Along with today's charges, multiple women are suing Kelly and accusing him of having underage sex with them. The charges in today's indictment come from alleged incidents from 1998 to 2010.
And coming up in sports, Syracuse takes on Duke tomorrow, but without a pretty big Blue Devil. Also, Patriots owner Robert Kraft in the news. That and more. Stay tuned.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Got a quarter?
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back. I'm Brittany Ehrlich. Just a little over a month ago, Syracuse men's basketball took down the #1 team in the nation. Well, tomorrow, the Orange have an opportunity to do the same thing as Duke comes to the Carrier Dome. Today, the Blue Devils announced star forward Zion Williamson will not play against Syracuse tomorrow. Williamson was listed day-to-day after spraining his knee on Thursday against the University of North Carolina. According to SU Athletic Director John Wildhack, Syracuse head coach Boeheim will coach against Duke after being involved in a fatal car accident Wednesday night after beating Louisville 69-49. Even with a lot going on surrounding the Orange, they still have one thing on their mind: winning.
I mean, it's just another game to me. I mean, we played big games before. We played them before, so it's nothing new.
At the end of the day, it's another basketball game that we're trying to win, trying to compete to win. So it's just another game.
It's something I dream about growing up. Just going to those games, seeing those moments where the dome just goes absurd is something that I dreamed about, and I can't wait to get out there and just focus on winning.
Well, buddy, speaking of big moments in the Carrier Dome, that McFan goes crazy. 2 years ago today, John Gillen had a pretty special moment against Duke. And Syracuse ended up beating Duke 78-75 in that one. Now, some big news in the NFL today as the New England Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, is being charged with 2 counts of soliciting someone to commit prostitution. According to police, the charges come after a raid in a day spa in Florida. Police also said Kraft spent 2 different visits at Asia Day Spa of Jupiter and have a video of Kraft receiving pay at the X. A representative of the Patriots said, "We categorically deny that Mr. Kraft engaged in any illegal activity. Because it is a judicial matter, we will not be commenting further." Kraft is one of 20 people being charged. Since Kraft bought New England, the Patriots have 6 Super Bowl wins and 10 appearances. Back on the Hill, Syracuse women's ice hockey hits the ice in about half an hour in their final home series of the year. The Orange take on Lindenwood today and tomorrow. It's senior night at Kennedy Ice Pavilion as SU honors 5 seniors. Forward Brooke Avery, defenseman Dakota Defer, forward Allie Monroe, forward Sarah Stewart, and goaltender Maddie Welch. The Orange also turn purple tonight as the team will be wearing purple script jerseys and a ribbon to bring awareness to pancreatic cancer. And number 25 Syracuse tennis hits the road today to begin a 4-match trip. The Orange begin its duel against Louisville. They began their duel against Louisville at 4, and just moments ago they won 4-1. SU started off with a win in doubles. The pairs teams of Gabrielle Knutson and Miranda Ramirez, along with Marsha Tritu and Sofia Golubskova, clinched the point for the Orange. In singles, Knutson and Miranda Ramirez won their single match in straight sets.
Okay, Brittany, thank you for joining us. So tell me about this game on Saturday. How does losing Zion Williamson affect Duke's game?
Well, when you think of Zion Williamson, you think of Duke. So without him, obviously, it's going to be a big loss for the Blue Devils. But at the same time, it's still Duke, and they have a lot of other great recruits.
All right, scary knee injury indeed. We'll be right back here on Citrus TV News.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. We have our weather anchor Carmella Boykin here. Now, Carmella, I saw that there was going to be 51-degree high on Sunday. Now, how long is that going to last?
Well, that's definitely not going to last super long. If we take a look at our 5-day forecast, we can see that on Sunday, 52 is really going to be the high of the week. On Monday, we're going to have snow and strong winds. Tuesday gets even colder with a low of 12 degrees. And Wednesday, we're even going to see some snow showers once again with a high of 23 and a low of 12.
All right, Carmella, thank you. Today would have been the crocodile hunter Steve Irwin's 57th birthday, and Google Doodle celebrated the occasion.
The search engine posted a slideshow on their website featuring Irwin feeding crocodiles, as well as a slide with him, his wife, and his 2 children.
Now, Irwin died in 2006 from a stingray attack. He was the owner of the Australia Zoo and starred in the popular Animal Planet program, The Crocodile Hunter. I was a big fan of that show, Gabrielle.
Yes, as was I. And that's all the time we have for you today on Citrus TV News. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Citrus TV News for all the latest. I'm Gabrielle Caracciolo.
And I'm Jack Watson. Have a great evening, Syracuse.